So the exhibition Taking Time is actually not only an exhibition, it's a residency project that I co-curated with Petra Kole, who is an artist. We are both based in Switzerland now, and we had an invitation from Vitautas and Raza to work with them with the Nida residents for the first show here in Vilnius. And what we thought at first was to think about what a residency is today in the cultural system. And actually we were thinking about a certain number of publications that went out in the last 2 years. One of them is Are You Working Too Much?, which is a special issue by IFLAX. And so we realized also the economical impact of residencies today, which is basically also the only time where you can really find some proper focus time for your work. At the same time, a residency is also becoming an important source, I'm not saying a salary, but anyway an important source of support for artistic production today. And so we decided to work with the artists, but not to give them more work, like to work with what they wanted to do during the residency, and just to raise some questions about how you work in a residency and if you can really escape, as the Nida project is suggesting, the working logic that you have at home. And we shared these questions in October with the artists. Petra came to Nida and she worked with them for a couple of weeks. And then we created a blog and went on discussing with them about different issues. So some of the texts that we produced with the blog are now in the exhibition. And when I came here, I worked with the artists and their proposals to try and make an exhibition, which we really did together. Also thinking about what kind of works are produced in a residency. Some of them are finished works. We have like some artists taking advantage of a residency, maybe to go back to a medium they weren't exploring at home. Some of them are processes. There is a lot of collecting, and of course, being Nida a very picturesque place, there are also some works which are resonating with each other. So we have a collection of sand from the beach. We have a collection of bottles being restituted by the sea to the beach of Nida, a collection of amber. And then we have other works like very long paintings that were realized over 2 months, or maybe other projects proposed that resonate with the idea of the artistic colony. I think that the idea of the exhibition was also to show more than one piece by each artist. So not to try and do some sampling about the work, but to try and show more the way they work during the residency.
Vilnius Art Academy bought a lot time ago vegetable storage there, and after some years we got money from fundings from Norway financial mechanism, and we made the reconstruction of this vegetable storage. Now we are store their residents of arts.
My name's Jeannie Sinclair and I'm an art historian, and the piece that I've made for this exhibition is a sound work called The Impossibility of Explaining Art Colony to Somebody Who Isn't There. And it's a collaborative work with Philip Reeder, who's a composer. And we've worked on projects before that work with oral history and sound. And my PhD research is about how social practice and space produce relationships that create art. And I live in St Ives in Cornwall, and so I'm researching the historic art colony in St Ives, and I'm looking at how social relations and spatial practice contribute to creativity and art. And so I'm really interested in being at Nida because
it's a similar place, no?
Yeah, it's a very similar place. They're both very remote. They're both by the sea. They've both got historic art colonies, and I was really interested in making this piece because I have been looking at the historic art colony in St Ives or hearing it through the ear of being at Nida Art Colony.
Nida Art Colony is a wonderful place for artists in residence and for experiments in art and education. So I've been staying in Nida Art Colony for almost 2 years as an artistic director. I was responsible for a lot of different projects, artists in residency, workshops, seminars, symposiums, meetings, expeditions, research projects. And so far it was a great experience and a lot of interesting things happening. As you know, Nida is a remote place. You need to travel for 5 hours to get to a capital city, Vilnius. And if you stay in Nida, so there is nothing else except work and landscape. So either you work or you go for a walk. So there is only 2 opportunities. And so far we hosted over 100 artists who stayed over 1 month. And all of them may have very different experience. They were also impressed by this Nida landscape, by the sand dunes, by the wind, by the sea, by the lagoon, by the wild animals. Every day you can meet a wild boar, wild pig, moose, fox, a squirrel. And this is really interesting it's kind of a monastery, I would say, because you are secluded, you are alone in a solitude from the world. But from another perspective, you meet a lot of different artists.
What am I doing here, as Bruce Chatwin once wrote? Let's get out of this place, as the young artist would have had it. To write with the left hand, every previous word smeared out by the hand scribbling down its successor, and then, going back to the notes, interpreting the by now unintelligible sequences of words, now with the palm of the left hand black from ink. To really be able to write, you need to get your hands dirty. Thank you very much.